so this is today's second game at War Games. I'm playing off against Graham's Imperial Knight and Ultramarine list. We are using the new Space Marine Codex, which Graham's just had a look through prior to the game, so if we get any rules wrong, we do apologise. But yeah, this is the table. It's Cleanse and Control, Dawn of War deployment again. We've got one objective, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We haven't rolled off for deployment yet, so we'll come back after deployment. Right, so this is the Blood Angel Force taking on Graham's Imperial Knights list today. We have the Angel Spearhead formation again. We have one Storm Raven with Last Cannon and Multi-Melter, and we have 2 with Assault Cannon and Multi-Melters. We have a 10-man tactical squad here with a Heavy Flamer and Melter Gun. We have a 10-man tactical squad here with that guy in with a Melter Gun. We have a 10-man tactical squad here again with a Heavy Flamer and Melter Gun. That is the formation. Now, for some reason, I've misplaced 2 Marines on the way down here, so I've had to proxy sub. This is going to be the Combined Arms detachment. We have a 5-man tactical squad with a Melter Gun. Please excuse the Dire Avengers, like I said, I've misplaced some Marines on the way down, possibly in the last game. We've got another 5-man Marine squad there again with a Melter Gun. We have a 5-man assault squad with 2 Melter Guns taking a free drop pod. Just to point out as well, these 2 both have a drop pod. We have a Death Company Dreadnought with a Melter Gun and Blood Talons. He also has a drop pod. Over here we have a 5-man assault squad again. We've got 2 Melter Guns, and the Sergeant is rocking 2 Infernus pistols. We have the Librarian, who has a Combi Melter, and he's rolled on Divination. He's only Mastery level 1. He got Misfortune and Prescience. We have obviously the 5 drop pods there as well. 2 are free, 3 are bought. And we have the Fire Raptor as well. So it's got the Avenger Bolt Cannon on the front. It's got the twin-linked auto cannons, and it's got the missiles as well. So that is 2,000 points of Blood Angels. Just to point out as well, Warlord trait allows me to re-roll the D3 rolled on tactical, so hopefully that will be useful today. Right, so this is Graham's Imperial Knight and Ultramarine list. So I'm presuming your Warlord is the Librarian?
Yep.
Mastery level 2, he has rolled on Telekinesis for Assail, Levitation and Crush. Stormbolter and Force Axe.
Yep.
Terminator Armour. 2 troops choices, we've got a 10-man tactical squad there with a Grav Gun and a Missile Launcher in a Rhino. Stormbolter on it.
Yep.
We have another 10-man tactical squad with a Melter Gun and a Heavy Bolter in a Rhino with a Stormbolter.
Yep.
We've got a Venerable Dreadnought, I presume,
yep.
with a twin-linked Last Cannon, Power Fist, Ironclad with a Hurricane Ball, Seismic Hammer. For the Knights, we've got the Warden with the Gauntlet and the Gatling Cannon, and he has the Iron Storm Missile Launcher. This one is a Paladin with the Icarus Auto Cannon. This one is another Warden, but with the Storm Spear Missile Launcher. As I said in the film for the table, Graham's using the new codex today, so if we get any rules wrong, we do apologise. We are still both going over them, but yeah, we'll try and get a nice battle here and see what happens. So we'll come back after deployment. Right, so I won the roll off for deployment, and I like to take the other side of the table. This is Graham's deployment here. 3 Knights on this side, and then a heavy Ultramarine presence at this side with the tactical squads and the Rhinos looking to rush forward, and the Dreadnoughts. Meanwhile, that is my deployment. Nothing. Graham has elected not to seize the initiative, so he's going to make me go first, which is absolutely fine by me. So we'll come back with my cards and movement. Right, so Blood Angel turn 1, I drew Purity through Bloodshed, which is destroy something in the assault phase. I have drew Secure Objective 2 and Secure Objective 1. I've done my movement and Graham has intercepted already. Thankfully the Storm Raven formation came on. So these 3 have moved up this way. And I'm hoping to get some shots down here. This drop pod is within 12 inches of 2 Storm Ravens, so it doesn't scatter, which means he can still assault, which means he's going for the Dreadnought, possibly the Rhino if I don't blow the Rhino up. I've elected to go down here with the Librarian and the 4 melters. Hopefully take something of these out and cause some damage. We'll see what happens though. Meanwhile over here, this drop pod, I tried to land it here. He did scatter, he would have landed slap bang in the middle of the night, but obviously placement, you have to be an inch away, so it bounced back, which meant my 6-inch move got me back here. So, Graham also intercepted with the Icarus autocannon from here. Shot at this Storm Raven with the last cannon. I elected not to jink. He did get a pen, and I lost a weapon, which was one of the missiles. So I'm now down to 2 hull points on that one. So, we'll now move on to Psychic and Shooting Phase. Right, so Shooting Phase, the guy with the melter there was just within 6 inches of the Imperial Knight. And that happened. He stripped 4 hull points off me, got a pen. Graham failed his 3 up in run because of being within the distance of another knight. And it went through. I rolled an explodes result and then I rolled a 6, so he lost 4 hull points just due to that. The assault cannon and the multi-melter stripped the last 2 off it as well. It did explode, but it scattered off the table. This Storm Raven unloaded into this one. Graham passed these inruns. I haven't used the missiles in those 2. Meanwhile, this one here, the last cannon and the multi-melter, despite being twin-linked, shot down at the Rhino and they all missed. I shot 2 missiles at it as well, and I snapshot the last one, and again, didn't do any damage at all. Meanwhile, down here, the 2 melter guns and the 2 Infernus pistols all hit the Warlord, all wounded, and Graham had to roll 4 5-up inruns on the Terminator armour, and unfortunately he failed, so the Warlord was insta-killed. I have got the melter gun on the Dreadnought there to shoot, but I'm not going to do it. I think I'm going to assault the Rhino. I was hoping to probably go for the Dreadnought instead, if I could have blown the Rhino up. But yeah, I think the Rhino is a safer bet to hopefully destroy something in the assault phase for me. So we'll now come back after the assault phase. Right, so assault phase, the Death Company Dreadnought charged in, 6 attacks, got 3 hits, and Blood Talons of strength 10, so that was auto pens, but I didn't blow it up. Graham has disembarked this way, probably looking to take those Assault Marines out there. So yeah, that for points wise then, that scores me Secure Objective 1, Purity through bloodshed because I destroyed the Rhino in the assault phase. Just to point out as well, people are probably going to be screaming, how did I charge? It's because of the rules for the Storm Raven formation. Any unit that deep strikes within 12 inches of 2 of the Storm Ravens can charge on the turn it arrives from deep strike. So that is why I managed to be able to charge. So I got Slay the Warlord as well as First Blood for the Knight. So that puts me at 4-0. I didn't get Secure Objective 2, but I'm going to keep hold of it because I can probably get a pod onto it next turn, hopefully. So we'll now move on to Graham's turn 1. Alright, so Graham has drew Secure Objective 2, Big Game Hunter, which shouldn't be hard for him, and Behind Enemy Lines. Well, for Behind Enemy Lines, that is this side of the table. There's nothing at all in this half of the deployment. So, for his movement, these Marines have jumped out of the Rhino. The Dreadnoughts have pulled forward, looking to probably take the Death Company Dreadnought out. And these Marines, I'm guessing I'm going to be suffering a Laura Bolter fire. There's no way Power Armor can survive that many shots, but we'll see. The Knight has pulled forward here to get Objective 2 and drop something fat and nasty over here, I'm guessing. And the one with the Gatling Cannon is facing this way, which will say bye-bye to those troops there. So, we'll move on to shooting, because Graham doesn't have any sight left to do now. So, we'll now move on to the shooting phase. Right, so in the shooting phase down here, the Imperial Knight dropped the large blast down on these guys here. Failed 2 armor saves, so unfortunately 2 of them went. They did pass the morale check, so they are standing still. Graham then elected to shoot the Gatling Cannon at this Storm Raven. I elected not to jink, and he didn't get any glances on it, unfortunately. Meanwhile, this one here dropped the rapid fire battle cannon down on the drop pod and did get a hull point off it. It snap fire and it was shaken. Meanwhile, down here, the last cannon failed to glance the Death Company Dreadnought. And the fire from all of these guys here, that was 15 bolters, 7 bolters rapid firing and a bolt pistol, the grav gun and a snapshot from the crack missile which hit, and all of these guys here with a plasma pistol. The plasma pistol got hot, the heavy bolter snapshot, and all of the bolters. The librarian still stands on full wounds. The sergeant was behind him, but he passed the lookout, sir, meaning that he took the wound instead of the librarian. So that is the end of the shooting phase. We'll now move on to the assault phase. Right, so the assault phase, the Imperial Knight looked to charge down at these guys. He made a 9-inch charge, which Graham failed, unfortunately. Meanwhile, over here, the two dreadnoughts tore apart the Death Company dreadnought, but not before he got one hit back on that. They all went at the same time. I elected to go against the Venerable, and I only got a single glance, unfortunately. So yeah, this is Graham's consolidation, so we'll just come back after we've worked out what point. Right, so Graham scored Big Game Hunter for killing the Death Company dreadnought, and the Knight got Secure Objective 2. He's elected to discard behind enemy lines, so that puts the score at 4-2 to the Blood Angels after turn 1. Right, so I drew Noble Self-Sacrifice, Behind Enemy Lines and Secure Objective 2. All my reserves came on. The Fire Raptor came on. Graham elected to intercept with the Icarus. Autocannon, I elected not to jink, and unfortunately he did get a pen, which means he snapped shooting anyway and lost a whole point. Down here, actually I haven't moved him, so he is going to move to there. These drop pods landed. They were within 12 inches of the Storm Raven, which means they don't scatter and the Marines can all charge. Those Marines came out of this pod. The Marines under there, excuse them not stood up, came out of this pod here. Those 5 Marines and these 5 were combat squadded out of the Black Storm Raven. Those 10 combat squadded out of the middle one. And these 10 combat squadded out of the other one, and they have all pulled back as well. So we'll now move on to the psychic and shooting phase. Right, so shooting phase. The autocannon didn't do any damage to this as it was snap firing. The bolt cannon took out 2 of the Marines here. Meanwhile, down here, all 4 drop pods and the Marines there and there unloaded every bolter that they had into this squad and took out 4 of them all together. So there is 6 of them left. They did pass the morale check. The melter guns from here blew up the dreadnought. There was no casualties as a result of that though. But then over here, there is a Knight gone. Basically the melter here, the auto cannon from him, the last cannon, and the melter gun here, the assault cannon and 2 missiles and the melter gun, and the assault cannon and the melter gun here, combined with all the melters from 1, 2, 3 squads, managed to blow up this one. We rolled on the catastrophic damage table, and it was 6, so it was a strength D at the centre, and it scattered onto him. So he has lost a few hull points, and the rest of the Storm Ravens, I don't remember which order they fired in, but they mopped up basically, and he's now down to 2 hull points. So that is the end of the shooting phase. The only assault I'm going to make is these guys are going to he's going to charge them, and hopefully I can get my point for dying. To counteract Grim Slay the Warlord that he's going to get next turn anyway. These guys here are probably going to charge at the Marines as well, just to see if I can tie them up for a little bit. So we'll come back after the assault phase. Right, so down here these guys made it into combat, but these here lost the heavy flamer to Overwatch unfortunately, and they didn't make their charge. These guys in the meantime managed not to wound despite going at initiative 5 and wounding on 3s. Graham passed a single armour save that he needed to, and then got a couple of wounds back on that failed an armour save. Over here the librarian cut the sergeant and 2 of the Marines down, and he lost 1 wound to the 5 Marines attacking him back. So that's the end of the assault phase. We'll come back and add the points up. Right, so at the end of my turn, behind enemy lines, I have a couple of drop pods and a couple of units behind enemy lines, and I also have secure objective 2 as I managed to blow the Knight off it there. So that gives me an extra point plus D3. That's 3 points, so that is 3, 4, that puts me at 8 points. I'm going to discard Noble Self-Sacrifice because Graham's probably going to kill me in his turn anyway. Right, so Graham has drew Kingslayer, Supremacy and Hold the Line, so let's see what he can do. Right, we've done most of Graham's shooting and movement. The knight has pulled back and he's shot a few things down. He shot the Gatling cannon down here. These guys elected to go to ground. I got a couple of cover saves off and 2 of them managed to survive. He then dropped the missile launcher down on these and I lost 3 of them. And he shot the heavy stubber at one of these and that's why one of them ones went. In other shooting down here, these guys lost 2 of the number to the Hurricane bolters over there. So we've got those 3 leadership tests to make. And then Graham will be doing some charges, we think. So let's see what happens. So these guys managed to pass their morale check. Those failed and ran 9 inches back. The knight charged in and took out these guys here with the stomp table, managed to get the last Marine dead. Meanwhile, over here, as expected, Ironclad smashed the Assault Marines to bits. Down here, we each caused a single wound and I failed my armour save, Graham didn't. Passed the leadership test though. Down here, as expected, the Librarian was cut down. He only had to make 2 armour saves and failed 1, but he managed to kill 1 before he went. So, that wasn't too bad at all. We'll just go around and add Graham's cards up now. Right, so Graham got Kingslayer obviously for killing the Warlord, so he got 1 point for Slayer the Warlord, and Kingslayer is D3, so do you want to roll that dice, Graham? That is 5, so that gives him 4 points, so that is the score of 8-6 to the Blood Angels. Graham elected to discard Hold the Line as well, so we'll now move on to Blood Angel turn 3. Right, so Blood Angel turn 3, I have drawn Secure Objective 6, Domination and Secure Objective 3. So, this Storm Raven's dropped the hover mode and pulled back to get 6. Those Marines there have moved their 6 and secured that objective back there. I still actually need to move that Storm Raven. This one has pulled back 12 inches to be within 3 of that one. The Fire Raptor has pulled this way, looking to get some shots down, hopefully at the back of the Dreadnought there, and the auto cannons at the Rhino. This drop pod is securing that objective there. Those guys are holding that one, and those guys are holding that one. These have shuffled up, those have shuffled up, and these have shuffled up, looking to hopefully get rid of some of the Marines over this side. So we'll see what happens. Right, so in the shooting phase, this Storm Raven managed to strip another hull point off the Imperial Knight. I elected not to shoot this, and the reason is, if he blows up, he could take them 3 Marines with him, which means I wouldn't get domination, so I'm not going to kill him this turn, which means I will lose a Storm Raven next turn. So, but we'll deal with it. Down here, the Dreadnought went to the Avenger Bolt Cannon on the Fire Raptor there, and I poured all 4 drop pods, these Marines and these Marines, at these guys, and I only took 1 of them out. So Graham needs to take a morale check on that. The auto cannon from the Fire Raptor shot sideways at the Rhino and got 1 pen, so he's snap shooting next turn. I am going to do an assault. I'm going to charge these guys in over here as well. But Graham, do you want to roll that morale check for them? 6, they are fine. So we'll come back after the assault phase. Right, so down here, these guys charged in, despite 8 attacks, didn't get a single hit. These guys attacked back and didn't even cause a wound. Graham got 1 wound through onto those Marines and they failed the morale check and ran, but obviously they're stuck in combat. So we'll now add up my points. Right, so I score Secure Objective 6, Secure Objective 3 and Domination. Now I do get to re-roll the D3 as my Warlord trait for 3 points, so that is 6, 7, 8. That puts me at 16 to 6, is it? Yeah. So we'll now move on to Imperial Ultramarines and Imperial Knights turn 3. Right, so Graham drew Supremacy from last turn still. He did have Domination and he's drew for the Emperor, which is make a successful charge, or score D3 if you get 3 charges. So we have done Graham's entire turn. Basically, the Imperial Knight shot the stubbers at the Storm Raven that was there so he could charge it. He shot the Gatling Cannon at the Assault Marines and took them out, and the Missile Launcher at these and took 2 of them out. Those guys passed the morale check. In the combat, he destroyed the Storm Raven and he used the Gauntlet to throw the Storm Raven down here, killing 1 of the Marines, but they passed the morale check as well. Meanwhile, down here, tied combat, and these guys shot the heavy bolt and rapid fired the 2 bolters at those 2 Marines there, but didn't cause any casualties, unfortunately. So Graham scores an extra point and he's chose to discard domination. So we'll now move on to Blood Angels, turn 4. Right, so my turn. I drew secure objective 4, swift advance and ascendancy. Graham nominated that objective and the one back there for swift advance. So the knight is gone. The last cannon from that Storm Raven shot it down, which meant the fire up had nothing else to shoot at. It went back up into flying mode and shot down at the Rhino over there, but didn't do anything. Meanwhile over here, these Marines shuffled forward, shot down at these with the drop pods, didn't cause any casualties. These guys all charged in to here, and unfortunately only caused 1 wound. Graham failed his morale check and he got away on initiative, which reminds me I do need to consolidate with them, but we'll add up the points now. So secure objective 4 gives me another single point. Ascendancy, control any 3 objective markers. I get D3 for that. I'll leave that as 2. And swift advance, I scored D3 as I control both as well. And that's 2 more for that, so I will keep the points at that. What's the score now, Graham?
21.
That is 21 to the Blood Angels. So we'll now move on to Ultramarines, turn 4. Alright, so Graham had supremacy, secure objective 3 and secure objective 4. His Rhino is pulled back to secure objective 4. He then shot the Stormbolter through at these guys to try and knock them off this objective. He didn't kill any, unfortunately. These 3 guys, however, moved forward to be within 3 inches and hopefully take them out and knock them off the objective. Unfortunately, only 1 of them died and he still is just within 3 inches. Meanwhile, down here, the missile launcher chucked a crack grenade and the other 5 Marines rapid fired at these 4 and didn't cause any casualties. So at the end of that turn, Graham scored secure objective 4. Right, so Blood Angel turn 5. We drew secure objective 5, hungry for glory, issue challenge, and hold the line. So for movement, that Storm Raven pulled back, those guys moved back, and the Storm Raven there pulled back as well. The Storm Ravens combined fire managed to take out the Rhino there. These guys moved forward and let the Storm Raven be able to shoot its Avenger bolt cannon at these guys, and the missiles took a couple of them out. Combined with the fire from all the bolt guns, managed to drop the last few Marines there. That does mean Graham doesn't have any models left, but that is also the end of the game. The score, what was the final score, Graham? 24 to 8. So yeah, the Imperial Knights were a bit brutal. I did get a lot of lucky shots off on them as well. But yeah, like I said, guys, at the other video that I did earlier today, this is our 2nd battle report for today, back at War Games. Brought the lads down for a couple of games, see what they think, and I think we'll be making regular trips down here. So if you live in the Middlesbrough area, please check them out. I'll put a link in the description, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.